Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Benton with the Chris and Sandy Show, where we get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We have William Michael Morgan with us today. He is a country music artist and Mississippi native. After signing to a major record label at 19, William began hitting the top of radio charts with his gold certified song, I Met a Girl. And following this, he released his debut album, Vinyl, which earned a spot on the Billboard Top 5.
And we're excited to talk to him about all that, what's new, and everything in between. So welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Man, I'm going to take you guys out on the road with us and introduce us at the shows. That's great.
That's awesome. We'd take you up on that.
You'd have to have us and our 10-year-old and our 3-year-old.
Yeah, whole team here.
Get along with my 6-year-old. I've got a little girl. So,
and you'll get to hear from our 10-year-old a little bit later in the show because he comes on and asks a few questions himself.
Perfect.
So, this last few years have been rough for a lot of people, but especially entertainment. And I always want to talk about that first, kind of get that out the way. How did you kind of maneuver through this crazy time?
Well, I mean, we had a lot of shows on the books. I guess what I'm talking about would be time frame of the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
And then, maybe a month or two into it, everything got canceled. It just, this one got canceled. This one got moved or rescheduled or just straight up canceled.
Yeah.
And so we took a lot of that time to write and be creative. We were in the studio a lot. I've got a new producer now. We've been working pretty hard. We've got about a half an album done.
Oh,
yeah. So we're pretty excited about that. We don't really have a timeline.
We'll have to have you come back when you get it done.
Yes.
Yes, I would love that. Yes. But no, continue. Yeah. We just wrote. We tried to be as creative as we could so that when we knew that eventually things were going to open back up, things were going to get better for the most part.
Yeah.
So we just want to be ready when that time came, as ready as we could be creatively.
Yeah. Exactly, because we launched this show January of 2020, so a couple months right before that happened. And our kind of original plan was 100 interviews first year. We thought if we could do that, be a great foundation. And then everything starts getting shut down. And I told Sandy, I was like, well, my plans may have changed with 100 interviews because everybody's free now.
Yeah, you're gonna
go. So I was like, you know what? This is our year to shine. We just launched. Probably people who normally wouldn't come on a brand new show might be willing to come on a new show. So we just went for it, and we did over 300 interviews that first year, and we're at 600 now.
That's amazing. Yes. That's amazing. Congratulations.
It's been a crazy ride, and have people like you on where we look up to.
Well, one day at a time. One day at a time is what I've always said.
Yes, love that.
So when you look back on everything, a lot of people would ask, when did you know you wanted to do music? But I always like to go deeper than that. When did it click for you that this could be a career?
I don't remember when I wanted to do music. I've just always wanted to do music. But I suppose because I just remember wanting to do it. I mean, but I suppose when I wanted to, I knew that it could possibly be a career. I mean, I'm going to say maybe about 15 years old. I'd quit school at the time. I was playing with the band. Wow. And I started going back and forth to Nashville, songwriting. And I was lucky enough to meet some songwriters that would write with an old snot-nosed Mississippi brat, Didn't even know how to do his own laundry, much less try to go up with a song, They were gracious. They helped me out. They showed me the ropes. And of course, it's always every day is a learning process, but they helped us out a lot, a whole lot. So I've always wanted to do music as long as I can remember.
That's the thing that we've learned about Nashville. It doesn't matter whether you're young, you're super old, you're welcomed in the music community.
Yes, very welcoming community.
Amen. for sure, for sure.
Because it's funny, one of our friends in Nashville, Ava Page. I remember when she was 13 and she was writing with all these people that were 40s and 30s and all that, and it's you don't see that in like other industries.
Well, for sure. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of intermingling in the country music world for sure, and not just that. The country music world is very open arms to other genres as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what we love about country, because again, I know a lot of traditionalists hate this part of it, but I love this to where like Luke Bryan's song, Your Kind of Country. I love that. If you like hip hop country, it has it. If you like traditional country has it. If you like pop country has it. I love that it intertwines with the different music, where if you're only into traditional, well, guess what? We have it, right?
Yeah.
For sure. And music is ever changing. Country music for sure is ever changing. I mean, hell, it was blues music at first, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
True. Yeah.
But I mean, hell, it's all got its own place. It's all got its own time. I'm more of a traditionalist. That doesn't mean I'm not what's going on now.
Absolutely.
I just, I like a steel guitar a little bit more, or exactly. Again, all has its time, all has its place.
Exactly. Now, as you know, a lot of people, they see the glory in what you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to get to any level within music. And I always want to talk about that, because I think a lot of time it's sugar coated over it. They think if you got talent, oh, you'll make it. But we both know that's just not true. So take us back at the beginning and tell us some of the sacrifices you had to make to even build to I Met a Girl.
Well, I mean, I moved to Nashville when I was just turned 19 or fixing to turn 19.
Wow.
Wow.
I'd never been out of the house before. I'm from Vicksburg, Mississippi. I mean, I'd be right now with my mom and dad's house. But I mean, it's beautiful back. I love it here. But
nice.
I don't know. If I could live here, I'd probably go back and forth to Nashville. If I could live somewhere like this where it's a little more quiet. I actually just bought a house with my fiance. We're fixing to get married next month.
Congratulations!
Yes,
we just hit 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats! Oh, that's awesome.
We spent it in Nashville.
We did.
Oh, really? What did you guys do? I guess not to. I'm sorry, I'm getting us off.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. We actually had a place to watch our kids that night, so we got to go out on Broadway.
Because we spent a week in Nashville, and then of course when we go to Nashville quite a bit, but our kids love Broadway, and so we always go on Broadway almost every day when we're there. But the night of our anniversary, October 5th, we got one of them child care places, and we looked up the reviews, and everything seemed legit. So we're like, okay, so because we've never done this before, and so we dropped them off there, and we went downtown.
Yeah, we got to eat and enjoy some live music. Yeah,
that's great. That's great. We're looking at the Smoky Mountains to have our ceremony and everything.
Oh, wow.
Oh, remember that's where we got married in Pigeon Forge.
That's where we're getting married. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because she was from Kentucky and I'm from Georgia, and that's kind of the in-between point. Because we met online back in 2002.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I guess that would be one thing that's a downside of, not a downside, but a thing you kind of give up. Is a lot of time with family. Like I said, I moved to Nashville when I was 19. I guess to kind of get us back into the actual interview here. I'll go on and on about talking about this and that. But, you just don't get to spend as much time with your family as you would like to. You're flying, you're riding, you're playing a show. There's a lot of time in between too that you just kind of think, well, hell, I could be doing this at the house, or I could be doing this or doing this that needs to be done in all of your free time in a hotel or on a flight. Or so, you know, you got to try to keep busy. And of course, there's FaceTime now. There's StreamYard, I suppose. There's all sorts of avenues you can explore to talk to your family and see them face to face on a screen. But that was one thing that COVID helped. I think it wasn't all bad. There was some good that came. A lot of people really spend a lot more time with their family.
It slowed everything down.
Of course, husbands, wives, sons, and daughters. I think everybody just get to spend a little bit more time together.
And you know, another thing I think COVID did too was, you know, the industry is really tough as it is, and if you're not all in with music, you're never going to make it. We all know that. And I think what COVID did for some people is it gave them a chance to really dig in their heart. Is this really what I want to do the rest of my life? Because nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody knew if it would ever open back up. We thought it would, but nobody knew. So I think it also gave a chance for some people to say, you know what, I'm going to pivot out of this.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody had different outlooks. Everybody had different timelines in their head. Everyone had different scenarios. What's going to happen?
Yes.
And why is this happening? You know, opinion here, opinion there. But at the end of the day, you know what? I know that we lost a lot of folks. I know that's always going to be with us. And
a lot of country music people too.
A lot of country music. I mean, Joe Diffie, that was sad. Mac Davis, that was sad. Just to mention a couple. Yeah, that was sad. I mean, hell, I played Joe Diffie that whole day. I think maybe that whole week, just to kind of
honor him.
You know?
To honor him.
Yeah.
So now that we talked a little bit about the sacrifice side and all that, let's flip the script and go the other way. What are a few wow moments for you where you look back and you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened?
Oh, well, I met George Strait one time.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was awesome. And it was not really even planned. It was not in a music setting whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
It was a very personal setting. I went to go play a show down in Bernie, Texas, at this beer garden.
Okay.
And a good time, a good crowd, a good show, just a great time. And my manager was with me. I say that because, you know, they don't always come out on the road, but he just happened to be out there with me that week. And he knew a guy that had a ranch out there, not too far.
Okay.
Said, well, let's go out after the show, hang out a little bit. He said he's having a little private party. Yeah, let's go have a good time. You know, at the time I was still drinking. I don't drink anymore. It's been maybe 5.5 years. But at the time, I was definitely doing it. And so we said, hey, let's go have a couple drinks, hang out a little bit. He's had, you know, we get there. Beautiful place. We're kind of gathered around this little campfire setting outside of this guy's wine cellar, if that tells you how
of a
place this is, you know. I'm already in awe there. Talk about a wow moment. But and all of a sudden, I see what looks like George Strait.
Wow.
You know, he's got just walking with two guys, I believe it was two other guys, maybe one other guy. I think it was one other guy. Had like a golf shirt, like a collared shirt, and some shorts. I believe, like some just shorts and ball cap. Sure enough, it was George Strait, and so I introduced myself to him, of course, in a cool way, not just oh my God, hey George, how you doing?
Right.
But I refrained and restrained myself.
On the inside, you were freaking out.
Oh, inside, I'm still freaking out telling the story. I mean, it's just, long story short, we met. He hung out for a little bit. Somebody pulls out a guitar
Oh,
and
wow.
asks him to play, and he
Yeah.
plays. He plays maybe 2-3 songs, and someone else at that point pulls out another guitar and hands it to me.
Okay.
And
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, I grab it, but I'm not gonna play nothing. The king right there, you know.
Yes, King
And he
George.
just looked at me and he said, "You know the chair?" I said, "Oh, of course I know the chair."
Oh, yes, classic.
And,
Mhm.
and he proceeded to play the chair. I played with him. I did not sing, but I played along with him. And just like out of a movie or a show that he had just played, he handed that guitar to the guy that gave it to him. He kind of waved off, and he was gone.
Wow.
Like the Lone Ranger thing.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, he was such a
Wow.
nice guy. I was not expecting that whatsoever. But apparently, the guy who my manager knows, his ranch or farm,
Mhm.
butts up to George's ranch. So I guess the
Oh,
friends
okay. So
or
they're
the
like
at least
neighbors.
civil
Mhm.
neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to love it if you're a neighbor to George Strait.
Oh,
Can't
boy,
beat that.
I wouldn't know, but gosh, I would love that one. He probably wouldn't like that from me. I'd probably pester the heck out of him.
You're like, okay, what do I do in this situation?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, as you know, a lot of people, they see you, but they don't see the team behind you. In our opinion, teams never get any love.
They don't.
On our show, they get love. So take a few moments and just tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
My managers, Mike and Joe, Mike Teleferro Carter. I've been with them since before I moved to town.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Hmm.
I'm 29 years old now, so we've been working together 10 or 11 years now, if not a little bit more. We've known each other at least a little longer than that. My producer at the moment, Keith Stegall, he's helping me a bunch. Jenny Johnson over at his office, Freeman Weiser and Anthony Smith over at my publishing company, Porchlight, Tim Medlin, who runs the company, James as well. All my co-writers, of course. I mean, as an artist, you got to step out of the way sometimes and understand that sometimes your songs suck. Most of the time, this is what these guys do, guys and girls. This is what they do it for a living. Of course, I do it too, but this is what they focus on. This is their their 9 to 5. Of course, Nashville's lazier. It's more 11 to 3, maybe.
Yes.
But I got to give it to those people. They're the ones that, not just me, especially me, but the George Straits of the world. Insert name here of any genre.
The ones that paved the way.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. They're the ones. The songwriters are the ones that make it all happen. They keep the world spinning. As far as for an artist and in the music industry as a whole, I believe.
Yeah, because I think in the music world in general, not just country music, but music world, I think the songwriters get the shaft a lot of times.
Oh boy, yeah, they do. Sadly, we don't have the time to talk about all that. Yeah,
that's a whole other stuff.
Whole other story.
Luckily, I think they just passed a deal that, going back to 2018, they're going to 18 or 19, I believe. They're going to up the pay to songwriters from streaming. So say Spotify. I think
okay,
Spotify almost specifically, but other streaming outlets as well. Which is a step forward. Of course, we all love
step in the right direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love all the streaming platforms. We need them. Nobody's down in them at all. It's all a business. But at the end of the day, the songwriters they need to they need a little more love.
Yep.
Yes.
Because
we
I
agree
remember I
100%.
read an article, I think it was 5-6 years ago, is talking about songwriters of Nashville. Where are they? And it talked about how in the 80s and 90s, the ones that were full time in the 90s, most of them had to leave Nashville because their income is no longer what it used to be.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, a man or woman in that time would be able to live off of a pretty healthy life off of
Mhm.
maybe just 2 album cuts,
Yeah.
not even a
Right.
single. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
back in the '90s, especially, everything was at least gold.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
records, not just singles, but records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid physical copy records. A lot of people that might listen to this might not know what that is, but
Yeah. We
but
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we did an interview with Joe Kelly from CDX Nashville,
Mhm.
and he was talking about, he said the 90s, he says we were killing it because he, of course,
Yeah.
as you know, he's the
yeah,
distribution side. He says we was pushing those CDs left and right. He says we were killing it.
yeah, yeah, no doubt, buddy, no doubt. Physical products in general, you know, I mean,
Mhm.
just merchandise in general. But yeah,
Mhm.
man, I mean, shit, they were selling gold record, platinum records, double platinum, 3 times platinum, just throwing them out. Just here you go, here you go, here you go. Um, so hell yeah, I mean, those songwriters could be pretty good living off of just a couple of album cuts, you know,
Yep.
Yeah.
much less a
And
single. Then you're
and
talking
that's
about
sad to
Yeah.
see that
song
where,
where, you know.
and although streaming has made where your music can be out to more people, but then it's changed the game for the songwriter.
Yeah, I would be lying if I knew exactly what percentages are different or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
the is, but it is a difference for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
So speaking of teams and family and all that, we have a third co-host, our 10-year-old.
We do.
And so
Christopher.
Sandy's going to go get him.
I will get him.
And while we wait on him to come in, what's kind of next for you?
Well, like I said in the beginning here, we've got about a half an album done.
Mhm.
As far as another original album, it's been a few years now since we put our first album out, our debut album. We were on Warner Music Nashville, and we're really excited to get some new music out. Now, of course, since this whole time, we've been releasing music again
Yeah.
to the streaming world, the Spotify's, YouTube, Pandora's, you know, all of that. So we have kept a presence out there and received some pretty good love and response from the stuff that we've released. But it'll be nice to get another full album, another full CD, another full project.
Get another one like vinyl, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, bud.
Hey, hi,
What's
Will Michael Morgan. It's going
How are
good.
you?
So doing good. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? Probably maybe yours too. It's
He's
pizza.
focused. Oh yeah. Because what's yours?
Pizza.
Yep.
Pepperoni. I'm just a classic guy.
What kind you like?
Pepperoni and sausage and supreme and pineapple.
He's got like 4 faves.
Oh wow, you like a little bit of everything, huh?
Yes. All right, what's your TV show?
Favorite TV show? Cheers. Without any competition. I love the show Cheers.
Because what's yours?
Mine is SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, I used to watch SpongeBob as a kid.
It's unbelievable that they still
SpongeBob
make new
was
ones.
really good. Yeah, I didn't know that it still made new ones. That's awesome.
What's next?
All right, what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh dang, that's a good one. Oh brother, where art thou?
It's a good one.
Maybe. Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine's the Minions.
Oh, which one?
Which one? Pride Minions 2.
Yeah, we
Yes.
just we've got a drive-in movie theater by my house, and
Oh,
we
wow.
took my daughter. It was out to see the new Minions, the Rise of, what was it? The
The
Rise
Rise
of
of
Gru.
Gru. Yeah, we saw it in Nashville.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Bye, thanks.
Thank you, bud.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go eat
he's been on
pizza.
almost,
SpongeBob.
yeah, he's been on almost every show and he loves it.
There you go. That's awesome.
So if you could co-write with any artist, who would it be?
I'd say maybe Alan Jackson. I was on tour with him in 19.
Oh, wow.
That was awesome. But yeah, I'd love to maybe do something like maybe Willie Nelson, something like that.
Now, if you could bring back someone who's passed on to write with you for one day, who would it be?
Merle Haggard.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, Merle Haggard. Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you want to be?
Well, I'd like to still be doing this. I'd like to still be doing this for 10, 15, 20 years on some level or another. I'd like to still be writing songs, playing shows, just having a good time. I'd like to maybe have a little bit more land, maybe do some hay. Maybe not me personally, but
Right.
a place to do for some hay to be done.
Sure.
That makes sense. So let's look, say 15 years down the road, and you've made it wherever you feel like you are there, you've arrived. What do you hope you never forget along that journey?
I'm sorry, what's one thing that I'll never forget?
No, I'm saying what do you hope you never forget at the end along your journey?
I know that I'll never forget the first time I played the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I know I'll never forget every time I played the Grand Ole Opry. I played 73 times, I believe. 72 or 73. I always try to give myself one more, so it may be 72.
Yeah.
But that is,
which means 73 is coming, Anna.
Yeah.
It's coming. I hope, soon.
Mhm.
But no, I just hope I never forget the feeling, and I don't believe I will. I don't ever believe I will. Just the feeling of this getting on stage,
Yeah.
for the first time and the last time I did it, and every time in between. It's just such a rush. Like of course I've never tried a lot of drugs, but there's to compare, but it's just like it's a rush that you just don't get from nothing.
Yeah. I remember talking to a friend of mine
That's a bigger rush than anything, of course.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
I remember talking to a friend of mine years ago he's a public speaker and he's spoken in front of thousands and thousands of people. And I remember asking about butterflies and all that. And I remember him telling me, he says, because the audience is in my hands, he says, if I ever get to the point where there's no butterflies, I'll quit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always some sort of butterflies flapping them wings in there. There's always some,
because that means you care.
Yeah, for sure. More anxious for me, more than necessarily nervous, though. But yes, there's always butterflies. There's always that tingling. That for me, it's I want to do the best that I can do that night.
Yes,
exactly.
I make sure that it sounds okay vocally. That the guitar players hit licks, and I just want to. And that's one thing too. I want to say, I'm probably the easiest guy on my band. Some of my guys at the end of the show, they're such good guys. They're such great players too, and they'll come up to me, man, I'm sorry I missed that so and so and missing or this insert song, and I'm like, buddy, this is live music, man. That's the one thing I always say. It's live music. We ain't gonna get it right every time.
You can't be perfect every time.
And if you practice things so much and it doesn't go the way that you practice it, it messes your mind up. You start getting you just start getting messed up. And in the moment, that's not good. So you just got to roll with the punches, man.
And you know, sometimes when
Mm-hmm.
things mess up a little bit, it actually helps you prepare for when things mess up down the road, because you start to learn. Like I remember I can't remember who it was, but we had somebody on our show where he said there are times he forgets lyrics, and usually what he does, he's learned that when he gets to the point where if his brain just freezes, he'll hold the mic out. Then audience don't know he forgot.
Yeah, they'll sing the words there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not to that point. Maybe I forget if I forget my one song I got.
Yeah.
But you know, shoot, I could. Yeah, that's a great way to fall back on. What I always do is just either like make up something or
Yeah.
like sing the other verse, which is most
Mm-hmm.
common. I guess what I do, just sing the first verse again. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think I've seen some where they'll then just interact with the crowd during a little moment, and then they'll get back to singing. But the crowd would never know that they didn't.
Yeah, they're just like,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
exactly. And in passing too, I mean, unless you're the one doing it, you don't know, and unless you're the one accidentally hitting a mark, those people out there, they're just having a great time. Not to say they're not listening, or that they don't know what they're
enjoying the
but
experience.
they're having a good time. You know, they're not saying, they're not going home in the car or
No, they're not nitpicking it. No.
And they're going, oh man, that guitar player didn't really hit that lick like I was doing. And they're pulling the Waffle House at 12 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Right. What are some things that inspire you?
My family, the good Lord, music, hunting, fishing.
Awesome.
Stuff like that, I'd say. America inspires me. Our great country that we live in.
Yep.
Love that. Yes. What would you like for your legacy to be? What would you like to be most known and remembered for?
I just want to be known for being a half decent guy. I'm a decent guy. I think I'm a pretty good guy. In a world that's seems like it's headed to hell every day. I just want to be known for doing the right thing. People make mistakes, and this is just a message for everybody. It ain't about what you did; it's what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you could say anything to your fans and followers, what would you want to tell them?
Thank you. I love you. Thank you very much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart. We've cracked some jokes on here and had some fun, but that is a very sincere point I'm trying to make. Thank you for spinning our records, clicking that stream, going to the show, listening to it in the radio, not turning it off. Thank you.
So what advice would you give that person that wants to do what you do?
Be you. They're going to try to tell you to do this, try to switch you to do that, but be you. To always listen, but don't let them encourage you to do things that you don't necessarily want to do.
Yeah.
Love that. Great answer. So as we start to close out here, tell us how it came about. I Met a Girl real quick.
Oh shoot, it was
that was so big.
Yes, such a great song too.
Thank you. That was my producers at the time, Jimmy Ritchie and Scott Hendricks. Jimmy played the song for me and sang. It was Sam Hunt's version, and I said, "Man," I love the lyrics. I said, but it's just a little poppy for me,
Okay.
As an artist, not necessarily to my ear, but and so we kind of messed around with it a little bit. He pulled his guitar out and kind of just played it a little bit. We changed a few things up, made it more me, as any artist would do.
Of course.
And shoot, that was it. We went into the studio and recorded it, and when we did, we kind of knew that it was special. I mean, who knows really if it's going to be a number one. I mean, nobody.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, some. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just understandable, but who knows? But you know, it just kept on going. You know, it hit the 50s, and we were like, oh hell yeah, we're doing something.
Yeah.
And it hit the 40s. Let's have a party, and then it hit the 30s, and it's you know, top 30 countdown all around the country, and we're like,
Right.
you know, we're popping the champagne bottles. Then we're thinking, oh boy, we've done something. You know?
Yes.
It kept going and kept going, and thank the Lord and the fans and country radio. It just kept going, and
Mhm.
and it was a big blessing.
Love that. Because again, that's one thing about music. You know, you could be a nobody one day, and all of a sudden the next day everybody knows who you are. I mean, you just, especially
never
with
know.
technology and all that, you just don't know.
Oh, for sure. You never know. So write that song, write that lyric, play that guitar, play that piano, you know, go play that show. Do it, because somebody's gonna be listening. Somebody might be going through it. Somebody might be needing that message.
Yeah.
You know, do it.
And that's a perfect way to end it. So tell everybody how they can find you.
Well, we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that. It's William Michael Morgan, WM Morgan on Twitter, and WM Morgan Music on Instagram. Of course, we're on TikTok as well. I just joined the kids on there. So,
Oh,
I'm still learning my dance moves, so bear with me. But
Yeah.
go check us out. You know, we're always releasing content, whether it's something out on the road or personal at the house or in the studio, or maybe we're writing a song and I'm with some of the writers or something. We're always posting something where we're going to be, especially our schedules on our website. We always post about where we're going to be, what's coming up next. So it's a great way for them to keep up with it.
Awesome.
Love that. You know, we really enjoyed having you
We
today.
did.
And we
It
look
was a
forward
lot
to
of
having
fun.
you back, especially when you finish your album.
Yes.
Hey, thank you, buddy, for sure. And thank you, Sandy. Thank you guys both. It was a great time. You guys made it really easy.
Well,
Oh, we
love to hear
appreciate that. That means a lot. Thanks so much for your time today.
You
Of
have a
course.
great day.
Y'all behave yourself now.
We
do.
will. We'll try. Bye.
Okay,
See ya.
Robert.